It's that time again. Time for another Roast My DBD. Today, on the chopping block, we have Vibrant Toucan, who is a regular member of the community. They have 915 hours. The description, I honestly feel like this was one of my worst performances in a short while. I had tons of worse matches, but that's usually against Swifts. From the way they joined the lobby, I am very certain I went against 4 solo queues and they had pretty average builds. What you think you did wrong? You rotated drones too little, committed way too much to some chases, and didn't swing enough. Let's find out if that's true. All right, so you're running Rapid Brutality, Surge, Pain Resonance, and Dissolution. One thing I'm going to tell you off the bat, Dissolution does not work with the broken status that the drones cause. I don't know if that is a bug that has been fixed, but as far as I am aware, if you become broken due to a drone scan, it does not trigger Dissolution. If you're looking to win more games, I would just swap the Dissolution for Save the Best for Last. Stabiffle with Rapid is one of the best combos in the game, especially for M1 killers. And seeing as how you're playing Skull Merchant, who essentially doesn't have a power anymore, that is something that you definitely will do. You're running the batteries, which will give you early game pressure. Because Skull Merchant's drones are stupid easy to avoid now, unfortunately, as far as add-ons go, the batteries are not worth it past the beginning of the game because you're not going to be getting claw traps that often unless you're like a master Skull Merchant player, which I will leave a guide down below if you are interested in becoming a better Skull Merchant. Pixel Bush has a fantastic guide that I've watched all the way through and retained 0 of the information. But your other is the Prototype Rotor, increases the rotational speed of the scan lines by 10%. So you're trying to make up for the fact that there's only one scan line on Skull Merchant, which is, you know, I get that. Honestly, if you want to win more games, don't play Skull Merchant, but you're playing her, so we're going to do our best to help you. So yeah, switch the Dissolution out for Stabiffle. Your add-ons are fine. Just don't expect much use out of the batteries. And as far as the map you're on, this is the Sheltered Woods. This is honestly a very killer-sided map. This is a very small map. The strength of its loops is not that much once the pallets get broken. So generally speaking, you're on a map that gives you advantage. Where are you going? What are you doing? Interesting. Using the undetectable to get right up in their asshole. Oh, yeah. You don't need to do that. You already know where she was going. Gonna come back and chase these guys off their gens. There was no reason to put a drone here. So one thing that you're gonna realize about Skull Merchant, her drones are no longer anti-loop. They're too bad. They're shit. If a survivor gets scanned while they're vaulting, then they are not going to get scanned at all. The drones themselves just do not help you catch the survivors faster. You are literally better off using your drones as undetectable on demand than you are using them at loops. When you put your drone up, it slows you down. I legitimately would not put my drone up at a loop unless it is like a very powerful loop, but a Z-wall definitely isn't worth it. That was a Z-wall. You had a free hit on him and you kind of let him get away by just throwing a drone up for no reason. Also, I want you to realize as well, you're running Dissolution and you get undetectable for like half the match. Dissolution only works when they're in your terror radius. So I wouldn't be throwing my drone up during chases regardless because you're running Dissolution and you don't want to turn your terror radius off. That's a good side to break the pallet from. Sprint burst. Not much you could do about that one. So far, you really haven't picked anybody to get down. You're kind of going back and forth here. You're playing a hit and run style without a hit and run build. You're also just shitting your drones out for literally no reason. You should have lunged there. You had her. Okay. So, I don't know what you think the drones do, but they don't do whatever you think they do. I don't know if you've got like a little itchy finger where you're like, must click, but you don't need to. You don't need to just put a drone up at like every fucking 2 seconds. You just don't. You're literally like you're hitting right click just to do it. I don't know if like you got yourself a new mouse and you just love the sound of the click, but you need to stop this, man. Like you're fucking yourself by continuously putting up drones the way you're doing. You have no rhyme or reason. You're not doing anything with the drones. You're just putting them up to put them up. What are you doing? Hello? Fucking playing eeny, meeny, miny, mo? Catch a tiger by its tail? Why didn't you go for that nay that was going for the save? That would have been the much smarter play. This is interesting. See, this would be a place where you could force him to run through the drone multiple times. But this is like the one time you don't put it up. And you were just like, nah, nay, you can stay healthy. I'm not gonna take a free swing on you. It's like, why are you like, why were you like not putting a drone up here? You could have forced so many scans on him. Drone and chat, classic. You were trying to rotate the scan line into her. So you have like, you have this idea about what you're supposed to be doing. You have like an idea about what you should be doing, but you don't do it, if that makes sense, right? You're like, you know you're supposed to rotate the beams into them, but you attempt to do it at the wrong times. You know what you're doing, you don't know why you do it or when you do it, right? That's why earlier you were just dropping drones to drop them. Because you know that you're supposed to be putting the drones up in a way that helps you run survivors into the beams, but you don't know where those spots are necessarily. You've jolted this gen about 37 times. Why'd you wait so long to pull that back? Actually, now that I think about it. Why'd you place that there? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm noticing. Is that you have like a little bit of an idea about what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not doing it. Yeah, you've already pain resed him. There's no need to try again. You only have one pain res stack, and it's on, I think, the Anna and Nay. I haven't been looking at their names. It's one of the Nays. So you have a decision here. And honestly, your decision is pretty easy. It's to tunnel the Atom out. I would not be going too far away from the Atom right now. You're also incredibly indecisive. You don't make decisions. You will have two survivors in your field of view, and you can't ever seem like when you have one survivor in front of you, you're like, ah, that's the one I need to chase, and you'll just like hard chase that survivor. But if you get two survivors in front of you, you never seem to know which one you want to chase, right? Yo, Shane, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it, homie. Right? So that's you're a very indecisive player. When you have like you'll get two. I've noticed that, right? So when you get like one person in front of you, you're like, yeah, right? You're like fucking Nemesis. You're like, oh, and you fucking just hard lock onto them. But when you get more than one survivor in front of you, you become fucking Amelia Bedelia. You're like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then you'll go kick a gen for no reason. Like, you have, and that's another thing too, you kick gens a little bit too much. You've kicked like 3 gens this match. You're running Surge and Pain Res. Fuck those gens. All right, now go back to the Kate. 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 Never mind, she's been unhooked. We're chasing a healthy person for some reason. The gate's right there. Are you gonna go check on it? Someone's on that gate. You don't care. You want this incredibly healthy person for absolutely 0 reason. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Yeah, yeah. Adam's been scanned twice. Are you gonna throw a drone up? You are. You tried to make it to where it faced him, but it doesn't quite work that way. There we go. You're gonna get your kill on the Atom. I don't know why he didn't ult that. I think he thought you were going to lunge. Vaulting wouldn't have mattered. You had dissolution up. Yeah, but you had just placed the drone. You were undetectable. Nay's being weird. Okay. Let's see here. Spine chill? In 2025? Okay. Okay. So, batteries is kind of a weird pick on current merchant. Picking merchant is a weird pick on current merchant. Your homework is this. I want you to make a fucking decision, okay? You are so indecisive for no reason. Your first homework is to make a fucking decision, okay? You spent way too much of this match not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do. You didn't know who to chase. You didn't know who to commit to. You didn't know any of that. Your second bit of homework is to watch Pixel Bush. And if you've already watched Pixel Bush, I want you to watch him again. And I want you to watch him again, and I want you to watch him again, okay? Until you understand when to put your drones up. Because you just kind of did it. Like, when it came to your drones, you just kind of just threw them wherever you thought was necessary. You never really had a plan, right? You didn't go in going, okay, the best spot for drones are here, 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 and here, right? You know, you didn't, you know, all those. You didn't think to yourself, okay, I'm at this loop, I should throw a drone at this location so that I guarantee a scan on the survivor. You just put drones up whenever you could. You were just literally like, drone, 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 drone. You were Oprah Winfrey for drones. You get a drone, you get a drone, you get a drone, that spot gets a drone, my ass gets a drone. Go watch Pixel Bush and figure out when you're supposed to be putting these drones down. And that's everything I have for you. Okay? Okay.